Let's just talk about the other big story, right? This is, of course, the wind power sector. Stocks, of course, have been under a little bit of pressure. This after reports emerged that the center has written to states and essentially asked them that new tenders which are bid out, they should do it under the reverse auction mechanism. Now, this, of course, was there a couple of years back, and then we moved on to a closed bid mechanism, and now it's making a comeback. Markets are worried. Let's ask someone who knows the sector inside out. Suzlon is the company that we are talking about. We have Mr. JP Chalasani, CEO of the company, joining in now. Mr. Chalasani, good morning. Great to have you back on the channel after a while, sir. Good morning, Prashant this side. Just explain to us, sir, put this in context for our viewers. If reverse auctions were to come back, is this a big negative or do you think it's manageable? Put it in context.
Yeah, Prashant, let's look at it from the point of the facts, numbers. Okay, that would tell you at the end of it whether it has an impact, has no impact. As we speak today, there is 9 gigawatts of bids which were finalized, awarded to the IPPs. They in turn finalized the OEMs. They are under execution. 9 gigawatts orders are under execution, which are not yet commissioned. On top of it, about 3 gigawatts of orders from the C&I segment, which is commercial industrial segment, is under execution. There is 12 gigawatts of orders which are with the OEMs are under execution, which has nothing to do with the current reverse auction notification. Point number 2 is that in addition to this, there is about 10 gigawatts of bids have been finalized and awarded to various IPPs through the bidding process. These 10 gigawatts is not yet been finalized. They are not yet finalized the OEMs, which they are in the process of finalizing the OEMs. In the next few months, they would finalize. Plus about 5 gigawatts of C&I segments is under discussion. So in addition to the 9 gigawatts, what I said, 9 plus 3, 12 gigawatts I said, under execution, there is 15 gigawatts of orders being discussed in the market. Again, this has nothing to do with the reverse auction. So we're talking about 27 gigawatts of orders, bids. On top of it, today there is about 15 gigawatts of bids final are declared by the government. In that, 13 gigawatts are non-wind, which are basically FDRE and RTC. Where reverse auction was always there, will be there. There is no change in that. In this 13 gigawatts, the wind component would be 13 gigawatts because in case of FDRE bids, which are the fixed dispatch renewable energy bids, if the PPA is for 500 megawatt, your wind component would be 1.2 to 1.4 times. Actual installed capacity will be higher. So therefore, 13 gigawatts under bidding. Okay. We are looking at a pipeline of about 40-45 gigawatts, which has nothing to do with the reverse auction. Nothing to do with the reverse auction, I repeat. In the current run rate in the country in the last 5 years has been anywhere between 1.5 to 2.2 gigawatts commissioning capacity. Last year we did 2.2. This year we're likely to do 3.5 gigawatts. So even if we achieve 8 gigawatts, which is our aim at some point in the future, we are talking about 5 to 6 years of pipeline available for the sector, wind bids, which has nothing to do with the reverse auction. Absolutely nothing to do with the reverse auction. Therefore, today issue is not about the order pipeline. Even now coming to our own company, Suzlon, today we have more than 3 gigawatts order book, which is the highest we ever had domestic order book in the history of the company. And there are many more orders which are under discussions today, in which you will see the pipeline being announced from time to time. Therefore, I think as a country today, order intake is not an issue at all for the next few years. What is important for us is to spend time on concentrating on execution capability increase so that from this 3.5 this year, how do we go to 6 gigawatts, 8 gigawatts? That's the issue for the sector.
So what do you think, got the MNRE to actually speak about reverse auction then just, you're putting all these facts on the table because their letter mentions in view of undersubscription and higher tariff discovery in recent wind bids. What do you think was the reason for this low bidding and much higher bids or low participation? Why is the industry participating lower? Is this because of lack of capacity and perhaps focus on execution? In that case, then, this should not impact the industry as much.
It is not going to impact the industry. I just repeat again. First of all, the reverse auction notification, what is given is only for the pure wind bids. Okay. Exactly. In the current 15 gigawatts of bids announced by the government of India, only 2 gigawatts is pure wind bids. 13 gigawatts is FDRE, RTC or the hybrid bids, which has a wind component of about 13 gigawatts, which is not impacted by this because reverse auction will always be there. Why the undersubscription happened this time was because they came up with the state-specific bidding. It is not a pan-India. There are so many orders today already given. As I said, that 12 gigawatts under execution, there's another 10 gigawatts. They won the bid set to finalize the OEM. Everyone is grappling today with the execution things. How do we ramp up execution? So therefore, more concentration there rather than actually flocking for the bids. That's the reason there is an undersubscription to the extent of only one single bid. Only one bid happened till now after the reverse auction came in. So it's nothing to do with why there is no interest, because there are enough orders with every IPP. There are enough orders with OEMs like us. So that is the reason why you're seeing undersubscription.
No, Mr. Chalasani, take your point. We were speaking to one of your peer companies from your sector, Inox Wind, and I think they made the same point that a dearth of bids is not an issue at all. I mean, there's enough and more work to go around. But just for the sake of clarity, you said that 45 gigawatts of pipeline is coming up, which has nothing to do with reverse auction. How much of this is pure wind? What I'm trying to get at, let's say for a company like Suzlon, if we talk about your bid pipeline, right now, how much of that pipeline is already coming through reverse auction and how much may come through reverse auction? Because that is where the question comes up in terms of how competitive those reverse auction bids would be. Can you give us the breakdown?
All the numbers what I spoke, because there is no point in talking about, other solar or other storage. Numbers, every number I gave you is only for the wind component. When I said that 12 gigawatts is under execution, 12 gigawatts of wind bids is under execution. When I said 10 gigawatts of orders have been won by various people, that's only the wind component I'm talking about, which is the right to finalize the OEM. 5 gigawatts from the C&S segment, which is under discussion, is wind. So 15 gigawatts under discussion with OEMs is wind. 12 gigawatts under execution is wind, which makes us 27 gigawatts. The bids which are announced today by Government of India, when I said 15 gigawatts, in that 2 gigawatts I taken away the pure wind. 13 gigawatts is what is FDRE. In fact, 10 gigawatts of that is FDRE. As I said, FDRE, we need to understand is that if there is a 1,000 megawatt FDRE bid, while it will have a wind, solar and storage capacity, because of the FDRE nature, actual installed capacity of wind for 1,000 megawatt will be 1.2 to 1.3 times. That's why in this 13 gigawatts of not pure wind bids, there are FDRE and the other bids, the wind component would be 13 gigawatts. I'm only talking about the pipeline of 40 gigawatts for the wind. These are all the facts in the public domain. There is nothing which is exclusive information to the Suzlon.
Okay. Mr. Chalasani, by the way, as we speak, there is an order which has come in for you. 72 megawatts of order from Juniper Energy. This would be worth how much, sir?
You will see many more. Order pipelines we announced last week.
This is worth how much? 72 megawatts?
I would like to get the numbers because the guidance generally we given earlier also is that normally on average ASP is 6 crores per megawatt.
Okay.
And sir, just to understand that point, right now your total bid pipeline, how much is anyway happening through reverse auction? Can you just explain the mechanism, the total bid pipeline at Suzlon at the moment?
Today, as I said, all the bids which are announced is 15 gigawatts, which are yet to be, which are announced, they are the different stages, but not finalized yet. In these 15 gigawatts, 13 gigawatt bids are FDRE, round the clock or hybrid bids. 13 gigawatts. Only 2 gigawatts is the pure wind bids. These 13 gigawatts already have reverse auction. They had earlier, they will continue to have reverse auction. There is no change in that. In that 13 gigawatts, the wind component would be 13 gigawatts.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Chalasani, for joining in and giving us this sort of clarity. The stock, of course, at the high point of trade, not only the clarity, the order win also has helped up around 5%, a big mover Suzlon out there. And he said that it's about 6 crore per megawatt. A quick calculation tells you that the value of this order that they've just won from Juniper would be close to around 435 crores. Let's get Mitesh back.